This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Medical Association recommends no movement days in response to COVID-19 surge. The Medical Association of Jamaica is urging the government to urgently implement no movement days in order to contain the current COVID-19 surge. Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week hinted that days of complete lockdowns could be coming if things do not improve. MAJ President Dr. Andrew Manning contends that it is now obvious that a return to some of the measures implemented in the early stages of the pandemic is needed. Dr. Manning is suggesting consecutive days of no movement. The Ministry of Health and Wellness on Monday reported that Jamaica's COVID-19 positivity rate had hit a record high of 46.1%. It disclosed that 513 cases of the disease were confirmed from 986 samples on Sunday. Dr. Manning has also expressed grave concern about lack of adherence to COVID-19 protocols in hospitals and other public institutions, which are sometimes crowded. He said while the government has been targeting parties and other entertainment events, it needs to also pay attention to everyday spaces where gathering is also a problem. Man drowns at Rocky Point Beach. A man drowned on Monday at the Rocky Point Beach in St. Thomas. He has been identified as 34-year-old Leroy Mitchell of Chestwick in the parish. Reports are that about 4 p.m., Mitchell and friends were at the beach when he went for a swim and encountered difficulties while in the water. His friends went to his assistance and pulled him from the water onto the shores, where they tried to resuscitate him, but to no avail. He was rushed to a medical facility where he was pronounced dead. Stronger measures may be needed to get Jamaicans to take vaccines, said PSOJ. Worried about the alarming spike in COVID-19 cases over the past month, with the country hitting a frightening positivity rate of 46.1% on Sunday, along with 513 newly confirmed cases of the coronavirus on the day, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica is hinting that stronger measures may have to be implemented to get more Jamaicans to take the vaccine. The PSOJ noted that, based on the country's high positivity rate and the prolonged negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been forced to question whether it should be a requirement for the workforce to be vaccinated or subjected to regular testing. However, after what it said was much consideration, the leadership of the organization agreed that at this point it is not required based on the results of its internal surveys. The PSOJ said the surveys, which were conducted among members of the private sector, showed that 30% of the workforce is willing to take the vaccine, while 33% was indecisive. Noting the survey findings, the PSOJ said stronger measures may have to be implemented to boost vaccine take-up among Jamaicans. Jamaica currently has ample supply of vaccines, and I am making a strong appeal to Jamaicans to get off the fence, make good sense prevail, and go into one of the many vaccination sites and get vaccinated to save your life, the lives of your family, and communities, Duncan pleaded. To boost its vaccination drive, the PSOJ is recommending that the government engages critical stakeholders such as churches, trade unions, the private sector, the opposition, and other civil society groups in a national mobilization effort. It said such a collaborative effort is urgently needed to strengthen the Health Ministry's public education program and to neutralize the preponderance of misinformation in the public domain. Meanwhile, the PSOJ said that since July, some 5,000 workers have been vaccinated through its private sector vaccine initiative. 2 Sunshine Girls buses stolen. 2 buses used by Jamaica's Sunshine Girls were stolen from Netball House in St. Andrew on Sunday. The Toyota Coaster buses used to transport the national netball teams to and from training and also to matches were said to be stripped of their decals before removed from the premises on Sunday morning. Netball House is the name given to the official base of the Jamaica's netball teams, located at 17 Whitcomb Road in St. Andrew. Netball Jamaica described the incident on social media as a sad day. ODPEM activates shelter in Lawrence Tavern after flooding in area. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management has reported that one shelter has been activated in St. Andrew as the island continues to experience the effects of Tropical Storm Grace. According to ODPEM, the shelter, which is at the Lawrence Tavern Primary School, was activated due to flooding in surrounding areas. Acting Director General of ODPEM, Richard Thompson, told the news that he has not received the reports about the number of people who are staying in the shelter but will provide an update in short order. He also said COVID-19 prevention measures have already been implemented at the shelter. All shelters abide by the COVID-19 protocols that have been established way in advance of the hurricane season. There is an established protocol as it relates to the novel coronavirus that all shelters guided by the shelter managers should always employ once they are in the shelters, he said. In the meantime, Thompson is urging Jamaicans to avoid flooded waterways. If you don't have to go on the road, don't go. For persons living in low-lying and flood-prone areas, avoid those areas typically known for flooding. If you have to evacuate and move into shelters, please do so, he said. Ninja Man's son shot dead. Incarcerated dancehall veteran Ninja Man is mourning the loss of one of his sons, Jamar Ballantyne, who was murdered along Olympic Way in St. Andrew on Sunday. We're grieving but holding on. He was 31. He had a daughter who is only 2 years old, so she grew up without a daddy. Ninja Man has been made aware of the incident, and he's holding it like only a real father can. Kimmy Dunn, Ninja Man's niece, told the news. According to a report from the police's corporate communications unit, Ballantyne, otherwise called Roy or Ratty, of a Lower Mall Road address, was killed by unknown assailants at 8:45 a.m. It is reported that explosions were heard by residents who summoned the police, and on their arrival, Ballantyne was seen with multiple gunshot wounds. He was assisted to the hospital by residents, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Ninja Man, whose given name is Desmond Ballantyne, is serving a life sentence for the 2009 murder of Ricardo Ricky Trooper Johnson. He must serve at least 25 years in prison before he is eligible to be released on parole. His son Janil and co-convict Dennis Clayton will each have to serve 15 years behind bars before being eligible. 630 additional COVID-19 cases, 9 more fatalities. 9 more COVID-19 deaths have been recorded in Jamaica, increasing the tally to 1,320. The deceased are a 67-year-old woman from St. Catherine, a 63-year-old woman from St. Catherine, a 79-year-old man from St. Catherine, a 78-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 50-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 68-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 59-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, an 83-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, and a 65-year-old man from Clarendon. The Ministry of Health says the deaths occurred between August 13 and August 15. Meanwhile, there were 630 new cases, with ages ranging from 2 days to 94 years, pushing the total to 59,088, with 9,858 being active. Of the new cases, 356 are women and 274 are men. The parish breakdown is as follows: Kingston and St. Andrew 90, Westmoreland 88, St. James 71, Hanover 64, Manchester 62, St. Anne 55, Clarendon 40, Trelawney 34, St. Mary 34, St. Catherine 32, St. Elizabeth 24, St. Thomas 22, and Portland 14. A total of 1,972 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 41.6%. In the meantime, there were 60 more recoveries, increasing the total to 47,540. Some 478 persons are in hospital, with 112 being moderately ill and 35 critically ill. 14 persons are in government quarantine, while 38,154 are at home. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.